Okay, so the UK government, I don't know if you've heard or not, but the UK government is moving towards banning social media for the under 16s. Okay, I don't know if you know already, but it happened in Australia not too long ago. Under 16s are not allowed on the internet. I've done a few videos about this on my YouTube, my Instagram, and TikTok. Check them out. And I think it's a good movement. I agreed with it, just because I think children should be allowed to grow. They should be allowed to grow and not be, so hooked on this social media, the algorithm addiction, constantly scrolling and basically using social media to get all of their information, all of their ideas. I think it would turn off a lot of bad influence as well. There's a lot of very bad characters on social media that are influential, okay? And children are taking the direction from them, which is only going to breed a worse version of adults in the future. I'm not saying all of them, but I think if you remove the ability or this visibility from the children and allow them to grow, play outside, focus on their studies, their education, and actually build character, and build just these strong human beings who don't need Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook constantly in their faces every day, and allow them to learn, grow, master their crafts, become exactly who they're going to be. So, and use social media the way it should be used, just as a bit of downtime. You know what I mean? Relaxing, scrolling, laughing, as opposed to it basically encapsulating their entire life. I think it's going to be great. Australia also made sure that the platforms are the ones that get in trouble for things like this. They're not punishing any children per se. They're actually putting it on the platforms. I think there's like a £25 million fine in Australia if a kid's caught on your platform, which I think is good. That being said, I reckon kids are very smart, right? And they always have their ways of getting around this. All right, I mean, VPNs. I was watching a documentary the other day on zombie knives, these big knives that the kids are buying now. You need to be over 18 to buy those, but yet the kids are still out there, hurting each other and unaliving each other with these tools every day. So, needless to say, kids can definitely find their way around a few ropes and tapes of guidance. They can find their way around them and still manage to get on social media regardless. That being said, what do we know? What do we not know? Essentially, the Lords are like one half of Parliament. I believe it's the House of Lords and the House of Commons. The House of Lords is filled with, hereditary appointments, people like judges, former lawyers, people of, basically higher class of the society. The House of Commons are elected by us. So that's basically the parliament that we've essentially put in from the different areas of the UK. The Lords have backed it, which means it's gone through their sort of process, and they've said, yeah, we like it. So if the House of Parliament likes it as well, there's a strong chance that it will come into effect. What do you guys think of this? What are the opinions out there? Obviously, if you're under 16, I'm guessing you're not really a big fan of it, especially given social media's presence has definitely grown over the years. As the platforms grow and as everything grows, social media is growing, and we definitely need some guardrails in its growth because it's not always good. Social media is not always good, I have to say. I think I like the idea of it, allowing people to get on social media when they've grown up, when their brains have developed, and they can take the content that's coming in without it basically forming all kinds of different ideas and turning good people into spoiled influencers that go into restaurants and order chicken salad and then get surprised when chicken salad shows up because they're vegetarian and everyone's supposed to know that apparently. So I think it's a good movement. I love it. I think it's definitely something that we should trial at least and see what happens to these 16-year-olds that we take off social media. See how they grow. They grow better, achieve more, and just grow into, I guess, better human beings. I think is the aim for this. Then I think it's a good thing. There's a lot of bad stuff on social media. I'm sure you've seen what Grok's AI has been doing. And I just think, sometimes kids don't need to be subject to everything. And that's what parenting is about. That's what parental controls on the TV, on YouTube, on the internet, age verification on over 18 adult content websites. That's what it's about, right? Protecting the children from seeing things they're not supposed to be seeing until their brains have developed. So if this is, basically just another way of doing that, there's obviously arguments to say that, is this something that's just, too controlling? Are we controlling the kids too much? Should we let them live? I don't think so. I think there's other ways that, kids can live. And, I myself didn't touch social media fully until I was about, 19, 18. That's when I was really, really on it. Before that, mainly just in school. watching movies, going out, playing football, you know what I mean, with the man them, going to the field, playing football, setting up the cones, and just being outside, really. I think being outside as a kid is important. What do you guys think of this? Do you agree? Do you not agree? Do you think it'll come into play? Or will it be like the government ID, which was going to come into play? Now it's not. Very interesting news. Let's see what happens. It's DaveReacts. Peace.